We've got an update on a new AEW signing. A huge push is planned for a new AEW star, and WWE reportedly wants some top New Japan talent. Stay tuned for all the deets. So kicking things straight off with the news that Tony Khan he's just come straight out and revealed that tomorrow night at AEW Full Gear, one of the best wrestlers in the world is set to sign with AEW. And several names have, of course, the hype trains are already completely off the track, barreling all the way off the cliff. But several names have been thrown around since then, and some have been debunked already. Now, the first name is Mercedes Moné. She was widely speculated to be the Full Gear surprise, but Fightful Select have reported that's not going to be happening. They said, though we've heard as far back as August that there were working plans for the two sides to work together, the plan isn't to announce her this weekend at AEW Full Gear. If people in the company are to be believed, several have stated that when asked, it was indicated that the Full Gear announcement isn't Mercedes.
Which, I mean, part of me was thinking it might have been, but then I do believe as well, reports have been said that she's still in her cast at the moment. She's still got like a foot protector on.
It's not the exact way you want to debut somebody.
Exactly.
Here they are, they'll be here again in a few months.
Oh, sorry.
Plus, she's already made an appearance on screen, right?
Yeah, she had, and they hid the fact that she was injured by having her sat down as well at All In. So I feel like if it's got to be someone, rather than be like, they're here, but they can't be here for a little bit longer, I feel like it's got to be someone that you can sign and then capitalize on pretty much straight away. Yeah,
I think so as well. The next name getting thrown around is Dolph Ziggler. Of course, released from WWE over the summer. Meltzer has had an update on that, however, saying his non-compete with WWE will not end until late December. So it wouldn't seem possible for it to be him, although many expect him in AEW. Stranger things have happened. WWE have allowed people out of non-competes early, I feel that's happened fairly recently.
I feel like as well, with Ziggler,
I think
it's a shame. I feel like with Ziggler, it's a shame in terms of, obviously he had to be let go from WWE. He didn't have to be let go, but he was let go from WWE. And I feel like because it felt like he was so giving in the role that he was given on screen and everything, that if there's no room for him in WWE at the moment and they let him go, maybe somewhere they were like, look, you don't fit in with what we've got planned here at the moment, but you do so well with what you're given, and you've given so much to the company itself that you could go. You could go
a bit early. Yeah,
I mean,
we'll let you keep your name.
That might be wishful thinking.
That, right?
Yeah, that might be wishful thinking, but I mean, as you said before, stranger things have happened.
Do you know the one thing like popping into my brain here whenever I think about Ziggler in this situation is that he'd make such a better surprise debut. Like rather than doing a big announcement and hey, here he is signing his contract, having him like run in through the crowd to save his brother or get involved with something, I think is just so much more impactful for somebody of his magnitude as a wrestler. That. So I know it's really weird for me to sit there going, I just feel like that's the best way to do it. But I just feel, I feel like it's sort of better to maybe use Ziggler as a massive actual shock surprise rather than doing the whole wheeling him out and having him signed away, the next few years of his life to the company.
I could see something like that happening for Ziggler, definitely. If he's not to be the person, is believed not to be the person, I think tomorrow at least anyway, I think that would be a really cool way to introduce him into the company if he does eventually go there.
And the names, of course, don't stop. Following her match at Revolver Unreal against Athena and Billy Starks, we've seen Ronda Rousey's name added to the mix, partly due to the inconclusive way her tag team match ended against the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, with Athena hitting Ronda with the title belt, leading to a non-finish, leading many to wonder if it's a setup for something bigger, potentially a feud that spills over into a certain Tony Khan-owned property.
I'm not too sure. I feel like, we've seen companies, we've seen titles from other companies be defended in indies and things like that beforehand, and it seems like Ronda's having an absolute blast with what she's done so far within the indie scene, at least anyway. Maybe it leads to a Ring of Honor women's title match at an indie promotion rather than her signing with AEW and doing something there.
Potentially. I would really like to see how the AEW fan base would handle being teased one of the best wrestlers in the world and then Ronda Rousey walks out. Because
she's having a fantastic time.
She's having a fantastic time.
And she's enjoying herself, I feel like, a lot more.
I feel like when you think back to the potential for somebody like Kurt Angle joining ECW, I think you can do something similar with Ronda there in the way that if she believes her own hype and she goes into a promotion you wouldn't expect expect to see her in, then you can maybe turn it into a very good, very unique character. But I just don't know. I don't think Ronda's not sort of one of the more prominent names sticking out to me, I think.
I mean, I wouldn't like...
It feels like she'd maybe meander through the independents a bit more before arriving somewhere else.
I enjoy what she's doing with Marina Shafir on the indies right now. I think I'd like to see that a little bit more, at least, before, if she even ever does turn up in AEW.
And of course, there's just a lot more names flowing around, but the final major name involved here, Andrew Zarian on Mat Men, revealed what he was told, and that was, I was told Will Ospreay. That is a big deal, huge deal, because WWE was actively pursuing him. Now, Ospreay's New Japan contract is due to expire soon, and he was reportedly considering options from AEW and WWE, the latter which may have involved Will being a lead figure in NXT Europe. So there's a lot, it's a pretty big dangling carrot, that NXT Europe. I wouldn't be surprised, though, at all if it's Will Ospreay. You think about the level of matchups, the level of performer he is. He certainly fits the one of the best wrestlers in the world category for, you know, just the general wrestling audience. I think would all kind of nod their head to that statement when you put Will Ospreay next to it.
I agree as well, and I feel like he's had some tremendous matches within AEW this year as well, and I feel like he is very well respected amongst because I believe Tony Khan was like someone who the AEW fans love and respect and everything like that. And I feel like Will Ospreay fits that bill rather well as well. So out of everybody, I feel like Will Ospreay wouldn't surprise me. Like, it wouldn't be the biggest surprise to me because it feels like that's the right fit, at least, anyway.
He's certainly the type of person, I think, if he comes out, signs a contract, you don't really need him to have that big, impactful debut. It's just news in and of itself, right?
And it's also like, you know, he's already got so many feuds and so many sort of enemies within AEW that he can go away for a bit. Right? He can go away for a bit, do his final New Japan stuff, and then when he comes into AEW, it's like, ooh, who's he gonna go for, like, right off the bat?
Well, on the point of Full Gear, tomorrow night we're gonna have live reactions. We're gonna have Full Gear pictures, which are already out. Predictions are already out. Live reactions tomorrow night. What happened at will be following, as will WTF moments.
Woo!
So make sure you keep it here with us for all of your Full Gear coverage. But moving over to just wider AEW right now, in terms of just general signings, what's going on, Andrew?
Well, Dave Meltzer has been talking about plans for Toni Storm's superfan Mariah May, and he said the idea of this Mariah program is to get Mariah to be a top star. The idea obviously is for Mariah and Toni Storm to be a top feud in the women's division, and I think this is the right call to make. Obviously, she made her AEW sort of debut. She saw Toni Storm backstage and everything. She was like, "Oh, I
made a beeline straight for her, right?
I love you. You're so good." And I feel like Mariah's going to play I think she's going to play a part in Toni picking up the title tomorrow night. At Full Gear, and I feel like, you know, eventually we get the super fan stuff, but then the super fan kind of, she's
it's
like,
gonna get a bit toxic.
Maybe you shouldn't meet your heroes, kind of thing, and then eventually we'll get to the point where we get Mariah May versus Toni Storm, and I'm really looking forward to that.
It makes a lot of sense. She's a talent with a lot of hype around her, especially off the back of her time in Stardom. So I think that, you know, AEW would be wise to capitalize on this, especially with how popular timeless Toni Storm is right now.
Yeah, and that's a thing that could also, I mean, Mariah May is amazing already, but like that's a thing that could rub off on her too, to make her like get to that level that timeless Toni Storm is at as well.
Well, it is Black Friday coming up as well, so just want to make sure you all know that at cultaholicshop.com you get 50% off everything on the store right now. So if you've been wanting to buy any Cultaholic merch, you've been wanting to pick up anything in particular, it's all there. 50% off. Now is the time to buy it if you've been saving your pennies.
I think Tom said there's some Barry the Sharks left. He's scoured the depths of the ocean
Barrys
for some signed Barry the Sharks, so look out for those as well.
Finishing things off in this news with news concerning WWE and what they want right now. Apparently, their sights are sort of way off to the Far East. We've heard, obviously, they're interested in Julia recently over last couple of weeks on news. But in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer has doubled down that both Julia is wanted by the company, but also Kazuchika Okada is now being pursued by WWE. On Julia, he said she has has an offer, and obviously Stardom are aware of it. The one thing is that if they want to sign her to a main roster deal, which start at $250,000, I'm assuming a year, that's more than she can make in Japan by a wide margin. If they offer her an NXT deal, that can easily be matched financially by, like over in Japan. So I think that it's one of those where Julia is another star on the rise. I believe when me and Fraser talked about it a couple of weekends ago, when the kind of rumors were circulating around it, she had a lot of verbal agreements already in place in Japan. So it'd be one of those things where she'd maybe have to kind of break off some verbal agreements in order to go across. But at the same time, she's a talent where I think that maybe another year in Japan won't necessarily hurt her. It'll only make her more wanted by the company, right?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I'm really excited because I think Julie is amazing, and I really, with everything that's sort of happening right now. In fact, I'll get onto the Okada stuff as well, and then we can get into I guess the bigger picture of stuff. So this is Meltzer on Okada as well, and he said they've had interest in him for years, but he's always been loyal to New Japan. The pitch is that he's now 36 and he's close with Nakamura, and Nakamura has worked in WWE for years, and it's far easier on his body. Meltzer also says sources close to him say Nakamura's current push on Raw is a way of showing Okada that there has been a regime change and Japanese stars are treated very differently now. And that's kind of like the overarching thing is that, the stuff that we've seen recently with Nakamura, him being able to cut his promos in Japanese and everything like that. And now we see the return of Kairi Sane and Damage Control, Asuka joining that group. It feels like the Japanese stars where maybe in a Vince McMahon run, not even maybe in a Vince McMahon run regime, the more foreign Japanese stars would treat as like the comedy, the levity. Hello, Akira Tozawa. But now it feels like if Julia, maybe even Okada, if these are things that make them go, oh, actually, being treated a little bit more seriously, and for someone like Julia and Okada too, that's got to be tantalizing.
Well, if you look at it, it's a very shocking statement to see that WWE are pursuing Okada. For me, it's a bit like, what? Of course they're pursuing him. Why would he think about going there? But at the same time, the report's right. He's done literally everything he can do in New Japan, I think. There's not really much left at all for him to do. He is 36, which in Japan basically means nothing because you've still got Tenzan out there. There's a lot of guys way past 36. So it's not like he couldn't go back to Japan potentially if he wanted to do that eventually. But at the same time, I think when you look at somebody like Nakamura, right? Because for me at the time, it was like, there's no way Nakamura is going to go to WWE. He's the biggest star. And then he goes to WWE. And then he was initially a big deal. And then it very quickly shuttled down the card. And so now to see that presentation change, maybe we would. Like, what's Okada look like in WWE?
And that's the thing. That to me is always like the most tantalizing thing of someone who hasn't been in one of these companies before, like, and especially WWE as well, where, everything, there's definitely sort of like, it feels like a precedent when someone goes to WWE, they have to follow like a certain thing. But now the regime is different. We've seen Cody sort of keep everything that made him Cody on the indies and in AEW as well. He's been able to keep that.
Do we get the Rainmaker shot though?
Oh, you've got to get... Oh, yeah, with the production.
Yeah.
Oh.
8K Rainmaker shot.
You've got to bring... I think you have to bring that into it.
Absolutely.
Because it just wouldn't feel right, would
It's blowing my tiny little mind. Like, just all the possibilities.
Yeah.
And like, do I want it? Do I not? What do I see? Who do I see him feuding with? There's a lot there.
It's just... It's the idea of seeing someone of that caliber.
It's sort of alien, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's just like...
But it's really cool. It's really cool. It's nice to see that, the landscape is allowing for things like this to happen finally. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, that was it for your dose of end of the day news, or if you're in America, probably mid-afternoon news, because time zones and all that. But anyway, we'll catch you in a bit.